Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be demonstrating how to change the color type and gradient of a Tableau text table. In this demonstration, we will use a previously completed table with data that has already been created and added into our workbook, as you can see here. Here you'll see we were measuring the average employee satisfaction from our Q1 to Q12 data that we have listed over here, and we are using that to measure our employees' intention to stay from 1 to 5. Now that we have all our data laid out, you can see all the numbers across the data that range from 1 to 5. Again, 5 being the highest employee satisfaction and 1 being the lowest. Now we would like to find an easier way to show the trends and the differences between the low and high numbers in our data, because here it's a little jumbled and you can't tell easily by looking at it the differences. In using color, we can show these differences easier through changes in color as the numerical data increases from 1 to 5. Again, here you'll see our data laid out by employee ID and their employee satisfaction based on our Q12 data that we previously inputted to our table. Now here is how we're going to add color to our data. You can see over here, once we scroll down to the bottom, we have this Measure Names tab and then the Measure Values section. So here we are going to take this Measure Values and drag it over the color under the Marks tab and drop it there. Now we will see that this added color here, and it created a key over here to see our color, but then it will prop up right under the Marks tab with this little color symbol next to it. Then click on the Color tab under the Marks after you have this drug over, and then click on it. Here you can see Edit Colors and Opacity. We'll click on Edit Colors. This will pull up multiple things like Palette, Start, Center, and the stepped color option and reverse. So let's uncheck these guys. And the ones that we will utilize for this heat map are palette and reverse. Once you click on the palette section, you will see a multitude of options for different color arrays that we can use for showcasing our data. For this example, we want to use any palette type that goes from a blue or to an orange or red. In this case, we see sunrise, sunset diverging. We will use that. And then since we only have 5 values, we can turn on stepped color. Now you see this goes from a rainbow to only 5 colors because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors here and 5 numbers. Now, once we close out of this, we can see that this is reflected in our data with blue being a low number and orange and red being higher numbers. Now, another thing we can do is the reverse. So we go back in here, click on Edit Colors. Let's say we had another one that we liked that was orange to blue. And you can see here that now red is showing low numbers and blue is showing high. But if we wanted to flip this, we could click on this Reverse tab here. And now it is shown in our data the same way, where blue is low and orange is high. And here you can see that this is clearly showing the differences in our data better than before. Thank you for listening to this video on how to use color to show our differences in data easier. Thanks.